morning, friends, and today is our morning message, Monday morning message, and I hope that everybody is welcome to today's morning message. I don't know if that first part got recorded, but today's President's Day, so I hope some of you are spending some quality time at home. Here's Kitty. And my nothing exciting new over the weekend except for I was working on my taxes, and unlike most people, I actually like working on my taxes just because it's kind of the one time a year I get to like work with a lot of numbers, because some of you know that I was a math person for a long time. So last year wasn't so exciting because I actually owed a lot of taxes from the year before when I sold a house. But otherwise, usually I like to do them. But my message today is live clean, eat right, and move. I saw that somewhere, and I just thought it just kind of sums up everything that we need to do to stay healthy, living clean, everything. Think about everything you put on your body, everything that is in your environment. Try to make it as clean as possible.
There's no plant this March.
Oh, there's Joshua. What?
There's no plant this March.
Okay, no plant this March.
And it's Jersey don't have plant or this is spring.
Okay.
March or spring,
Uh-huh.
April. Yeah.
Okay.
No plant up. No.
All right. Well, there's Joshua. Anyway, so but anything that's in your environment just needs to be as clean as possible. Take out as many chemicals as you can. I haven't switched everything out. I still haven't found the perfect laundry detergent, but I do make my own soap. So, I mean, you just do what you can. But the way that things are going in the world with the toxicity, it's just more important than...
Let's stop walk.
Okay, Joshua, can you say hi? We're on video.
Right.
Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you when I'm done.
We're not no talking.
Okay. All right. Can you close the door?
Okay.
There you go. Okay. And anyway, so there supposedly is a snowstorm coming. So I'm trying to get some plants growing that are going to stay indoors. Last year we had a really extra long frost. And so we didn't have very great, I don't know what happened last year, but we had like a really terrible crop. So I'm trying to grow some of my plants that will stay indoors, and then other ones I'll start indoors and later I'll try to plant them. But I killed most of my plants that started indoors. I killed them last year once I put them out. Probably didn't do it right. Someone said, oh, you need to kind of acclimate it.
I think you said it tomorrow.
Okay.
Think you said it tomorrow?
Okay, you want to go for a walk?
Yeah. I want to walk on Saturday.
Okay.
I want to walk on Saturday.
Oh. Okay. All right, Joshua, I'll talk to you in about 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah, we can just wait.
Okay. Anyway, so this is what happens when kids are home from school. Today, so we were talking about the plant, so we'll talk about that on another day. But today I want to focus on copper. And so we talked about the 4 macro minerals. We talked about calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium, and those are really important, your electrolytes. Now we start working around the trace minerals. And one of the most important minerals is copper. Now, copper is actually really interesting because when I was refreshing my mind about it, I realized, we need to pay a lot of attention to copper. So this is some of the things that copper does. It forms the red blood cells. It helps maintain healthy bones. It forms your collagen. It develops and it helps with the function of the nervous system because it has this like electrical component to it. It's energy production in the cells, helps you avoid fatigue, regulates synthesis of neurotransmitters. So it does a lot of things. So copper is really important. However, most of the time people have excess copper, and we have a problem when we have too much copper. And one of the causes of dysregulation can be because the body is not producing enough binding protein to get it to where it needs to go. So that's one of the issues. So a lot of times what happens is we, just like calcium and other things, we could have too much like around in our body and not enough actually bioavailable and where it needs to go. So that's the key term for the minerals, is that minerals need to be bioavailable. It's not that you can just have a whole bunch. Like I can't just like lick a copper pipe, right? I mean, the copper isn't going to be bioavailable, but it might get in my system and then it might cause extra problems. One thing to know is that estrogen can cause it to accumulate, and pregnancy, so for women, does increase copper, and then it can accumulate in your body with each pregnancy. So if you've had several pregnancies, then you might also have a lot of extra copper. And then excess copper will accumulate in the liver, brain, and reproductive organs. Excess copper can also interfere with the thyroid, adrenals, cause an imbalance of the neurotransmitters by lowering dopamine and increasing norepinephrine. So this is, I mean, I'm thinking about, right, all of our kids, you know, the low dopamine, and then postpartum depression. That's a classic example. So if anybody's experiencing, or you know someone experiencing postpartum depression, then maybe it can, you know, we might want to look into, I didn't really realize this, but we should look into excess copper as being a problem. If you have excess copper, you can feel like your mind is racing. So you can have that like strung out, really anxious anxiety. In kids, it shows up a lot of times in poor concentration, hyperactivity, and impulsive, you know, being impulsive and agitated. And in adults, it might look more like anxiety, panic, racing thoughts, insomnia, depression, and mood swings, and brain fog, so depression. And in men, in particular, impulsive anger and violence. So, you know, so there's a lot there that we are experiencing right now. And, you know, copper is a lot in our, like the fertilizers and stuff. So, you know, we probably are all experiencing a lot of copper excess. Fibromyalgia can be a problem because the copper stimulates nerve transmission in muscles, and so so when you have fibromyalgia, copper could be a very big underlying component. All right, so the copper is balanced with zinc. So one thing is, if you have a lot of excess copper, you're probably really low in zinc. And like anything, you want to have both, but you need to have that zinc up. So one of the things that you can do for helping to balance is manganese, zinc, vitamin C, B6, and A. There is a condition called pyroluria, and basically that's low zinc. So you have low zinc, so and then social anxiety is hugely connected with that. So take low zinc and B6. It has to do with the red blood cells and kicking out the zinc or the B6 from the system. So anyway, so you want to kind of raise your, if copper's a problem, raising your zinc will help. You also want to minimize the copper exposure, and you want to estrogen. The problem with estrogen is in plastic. So we have xenoestrogens, which are like environmental estrogen mimicking. So whenever you like are consuming like plastic warm, that's why you don't want to put a water bottle in the car, because if it warms up, then it's leaching all the chemicals, and those are called xenoestrogens. And so too much estrogen helps keep the copper, and obviously copper in our environment, copper in the fertilizers, and so you know, for everything, we just need to balance. We just need to balance everything, and we need to think about. That's why we want to minimize our chemicals, because we just don't know. You know, those chemicals also can be preventing our copper or other things that from becoming toxic levels. So anyway, this is a really interesting one. So if you are experiencing anxiety, depression, kids, hyperactivity, impulsive agitation, I would, definitely suggest, vitamin C, zinc, B6, but I would also suggest do your homework. So there's a lot of sites. If you're going to look up information about copper and zinc balance, make sure that the sites that you choose, are from functional doctors. I wouldn't go to the very first sites on the top of Google, because maybe those are more like the WebMD. If you don't necessarily want the medical perspective, because they have in their mind they're more pharmaceutical perspective. So you want more the functional doctor, and they'll give you a lot more information about what it looks like and then what to do about it. All right, well, that's until Thursday. I hope you have a great week. We're supposed to have, the entire country supposed to have like a big blizzard kind of snap. So I hope everybody does well, and I'll see everybody on Friday. Okay, bye.